Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.
In a world where everyone says hello,
they dare to say,
g'day.
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah, g'day. Yes. Good day. Yeah. G'day. G'day. Yeah. G'day. Yeah.
Day.
Yeah. Good day.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
good day.
G'day. Hey. Yeah. G'day. Yeah. G'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah. G'day, everyone.
Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Tim. Hello.
Yeah, hey.
Sometimes I get to this point and realize I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
But you can't just jump right into the topic. It's too much for the audience to handle.
No, you got to give them a little prelude.
Got to give them a little anecdote. The other day, yesterday, I was at the shopping centre.
Okay.
And I was at Uniqlo.
That's a shopping store.
It is. I was buying a shirt there, and I overheard the pinnacle of what I think is how shop attendants don't give a shit about what goes on in the shop in terms of the fact that they're just there to make their money.
You're right.
This man was trying on clothes, and his, I would say, wife, partner, maybe even sister, was there with him. All three, probably.
Yeah.
And
most likely.
the guy was trying them on, and he went back into the change room and he said something didn't fit. And the wife, partner, sister turns to the shop assistant girl and goes, "Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? The medium's too small, but the large is too big." And the shop assistant girl just goes, "Oh, is it?" I'm like, go the fuck away from me.
Having been worked in retail and hospitality before, you can just sense the I don't fucking care.
Oh, what was that? Oh, the medium's too small? I'll talk to my manager. I'll talk to my manager.
I've got some sewing equipment out the back. Would you like me to fix it myself? Like, who gives a shit? Find something else then.
Actually, they do offer, like, either free tailoring on some pants or $6
nice.
tailoring at Uniqlo. So
Nice. I just feel like
tailored.
the retail assistant probably was thinking in her head, well, get your husband to either get skinnier or commit to being fat. Like, just make a fucking choice. Don't sit on the fence with this.
I just think it's like with shoes. You just got to put on an extra layer of socks. Just put on an extra pair of pants and you'll fit one of them.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
That's
I
a
actually
fun
wanted to
anecdote.
share that.
Yeah, great. Wonderful.
Tim, that girl, though, was very polite and very happy and energetic.
Energetic.
And I don't know about you, but there is one place that I learned how to be all of those things in one go. And no, it's not church like you might think.
Yeah, right.
It's a kind of church.
We went every week.
We did go every week, every day, actually.
I think almost all Australian kids I've been to this steeple of learning. This
it's like an educational precinct, some kind of shul.
Yes, I think it's school, pronounced school.
Well,
but there's a lot of play there. Yeah,
yeah. Tim, this week we're going to talk about one of my favorite shows of all time, Play School.
Play School. Now, for those American listeners who don't know what it is, British listeners might know what it is because they have their own version of it, which ours was based.
Romper Room?
No, Play School.
Oh.
It's called Play School.
Oh.
Play School is an educational television show that has been running since 1966, so 52 years this year. And it was... Yeah, it was originally based... I'll get into the history of it soon. It's got a different format. So, obviously, the world knows Sesame Street. Sesame Street's got a very different, specific format. Play School is much more like... I don't know how you explain it.
It's... Well, there's no puppets.
No. It's just kind of two or three hosts, and they sing like nursery rhyme songs... And they have these toys, which you were going to talk about a bit later.
Yep.
And everyone knows the toys' names.
Yes,
and everyone
they all
knows...
have different personalities.
Yeah.
And like they act with the toys, but like as I said, they're not puppets. They're just toys.
Yeah. And they'll have guests on, and sometimes they'll have like animal guests on.
Yeah. It's a children's educational program.
Yeah, it's really cool. An estimated 80% of preschool children under 6 currently would watch it at least once a week.
If you're in the 20% that doesn't watch it at least once a week, boy, you're going to be bullied when you get to school.
Oh, so much. So back in our day, it played twice a day. It was on in the morning, about 9-ish, I think, 8:30, 9-ish.
Yeah.
And then it was on in the afternoon at 3 o'clock on the dot.
Yes. So if you... Yeah, I guess back then, because when you're meant to be watching play school, you're meant to be in the preschool age. So you might go to kindy maybe once or twice a week if you go to kindy at all. But when you're at home, those time frames are like, they're good time frames to be awake, watch play school, end of the day, watch play school. You might have a nap in the middle of the day, wake up, play school's back on. What a fucking treat.
It was always followed by Sesame Street in Australia as well. They always had play school and then Sesame Street would be straight after. But let's talk about the history. Ooh, it's the exciting stuff.
The history of the play school.
Yes. It actually started production in 18th of July 1966, which is 3 years before Sesame Street. Ooh. Based on a British program of the same name as I mentioned. And the first episode began transmitting that day. It was actually done live initially.
Oh, wow.
And it has been produced continuously since then. There are some particular names, presenters that were on the show for a long time.
Yes.
It was started in 1966. I think my dad was born 65. My mum was 66. So, this show was around when they were kids.
Yeah.
It was around when we're kids. And it's still around today. And probably will be around when we have kids still.
I would assume so.
And there are names like Don Spencer, Benita Collins, John Hamblin, Noni Hazelhurst, John Waters, people who have been on this show forever.
What's his name? The Colin Buchanan? No, is that what his name?
I'm not 100% sure who you're talking about, but yes.
I'll have a look.
Possibly. In 2006... it was accepted into the Logies Hall of Fame. Logies are like the Australian Television Awards. They are, something.
Also, Colin Buchanan was definitely a host. They are a thing.
They definitely celebrate Australian television in a manner appropriate to Australian television.
Basically, they give out awards to all the famous Australians on TV right now. So they give it out to about 3 people get awards.
Yeah, it's a pretty small pool for them to give awards to. Anyway, it was the third program to get into the Hall of Fame on its own kind of steam, I guess.
Yes.
The other one being Four Corners, which is a news program, and Neighbours, which is an ongoing fucking Australian drama that we'll talk about one day, which is just never ending.
Trash garbage.
It's also the first Australian children's show to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
What year was it? 2006 it was in the Hall of Fame, wasn't it?
2006. At the 40-year mark, it was accepted in to the Hall of Fame. 2016, they celebrated 50 years, and they had a bunch of different celebrities and stuff. They did come on the show, and it was a pretty big celebration. Actually,
did you watch they did a show that was like a 2-hour special about the history of play school? And I remember, we were still living in Sydney, in Warramoo, and I remember, with Elise and that, and being like, we are watching this?
Yeah.
At this time tonight, the TV is on this channel. I think I cried numerous times.
I don't think I saw that, but I remember they put out, a 3-minute clip with, nice music and, showing it over the age. I definitely got emotional, because it's such a huge part of Australian kids' growing up. It was there constantly.
It's the number one show that I would say, if a TV show had to be picked to shape my childhood, that's the one, because I still know all the songs, and they're still doing the same songs, and I learnt lots of things from there. Learned arts and crafts. I'm pretty good at craft now. If you give me a pipe cleaner and a bottle of glue.
Oh yeah, they did some amazing craft work.
Yeah.
God, they could rig you up a bong in no time flat,
which
they accidentally did once.
Yeah, we'll talk about the bong thing a little bit later.
So let's talk about the format of the show.
Yeah.
This is a little bit clearer. So they do activities, they sing songs, play games. So they kind of usually have 2 hosts, maybe 3 sometimes, and they'll kind of go between hosts, doing little bits here and there.
Yes.
And then at the end of the segment, they'll go to the next host, or sometimes they have little, kind of like Sesame Street, how they have those little things that they throw to. They don't have them very often, but they throw
to them in a very specific way.
Yeah.
The windows.
Well, no, that isn't the windows more the story. They read the story.
Sometimes they would throw to like kids.
Anyway,
we'll get to the windows in a bit. But yeah, little stories, hosts.
Yeah, and they have this clock. So when they were going to tell a story, they'd say, what time is it on the rocket clock?
The
was
best
one
clock
for a while. There was a flower clock.
No, not for me.
The rocket clock was obviously the best one, but they'd always go to this clock and they'd look at the time. Basically, all of these little things were kind of set up to teach kids about different parts. So they talk about the day of the week and they do the alphabet stuff.
They had the rotating thing that told you the day, like it was like a block almost, and like it had the days on different sides. Yeah. I think there was also a hickory dickory dock clock. Like there was the mouse that ran up the clock.
Yeah.
I can still remember the music for like the rocket one. It was basically like the sound of just like
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Rocket clock is the best clock.
And then they'd sit down, they'd read it like a kid's book that was featuring on the show that particular time.
Yes.
There'd always be kind of a theme. My favorite episodes were always when they'd have like live animals. Sometimes they'd have like kittens on or puppies, or there was like some baby farm animals at one point. That was always fun.
My favorite episodes were always based on the host. I was a big fan of John Hamlin because my mum was a big fan of John Hamlin. And all the older generation was. And because I found out when I was watching that, the history of Play School, that his job was basically to go on the show and make sexual innuendos.
Yeah.
That was he was paid to do that for
there was
like
a lot going on
years.
that show. A lot going on that show.
And so now I understand why parents liked him. It's like with Toy Story or movies like that where you're like, oh, now I understand why parents enjoyed that movie because there's all these like hidden jokes.
Yeah.
But because I think Mum liked him, and he was also very funny, like as a kid. So I was a big John Hamlin fan. Always liked a bit of Benita as well, obviously.
Benita was great times. Noni Hazelhurst, was already pretty famous, but she's got a pretty rip-roaring career in the Australian drama circuit. Yes. One of the Australian actors that I can actually deal with, and I think it's because I have such good memories of her on Play School. Yeah, Noni.
Elise has a story that when she finally listens to this episode, which is never, she'll hate me for, is that when she was a kid... because Noni was also on Better Homes and Gardens.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
And was then on... She also is a dramatic actor and stuff like that. And Elise, I think either when Play School came on or one of the other shows was on, she was like, no, I want to watch Normal Noni. Normal Noni being Noni on Play School.
Right, okay.
None of this other shit. Yeah. I don't want Noni in the other stuff.
Why is Noni painting these terracotta fucking pot plants? No, I'm done with this shit.
Why is Noni DIYing?
Put her on with fucking Big Ted and Little Ted. Let's get this done properly.
This Normal Noni.
Yeah.
Noni is another story. But nearly, so much like Neighbours and Home and Away, pretty much every Australian actor in a way, not all of them, but a lot of them have been on Play School at one point. Yeah. You have to be able to sing. Is the number one rule.
Not necessarily well, but you need to be able to,
You have to be able to like fake it enough for kids
sing,
sing and dance. It's not as high intensity as being a Wiggle or a High Five-ian.
Yeah.
But it's hard work. But yeah, so I think like there's the people that are on there now, I kind of look at them and I feel like now it's people that were already famous and now the hosts.
It seems to be mostly
like the guy that
people.
What's that guy's name?
Eddie Perfect's on it now.
Yeah, and there was the guy that was in Star Wars and stuff.
Jay Legalio.
Yeah. Like he's been one of the hosts before. Like I'm kind of.
Oh, he's been on it since like year 2000. He's been on it for ages.
Yeah. But so there's people like that. Yeah, Eddie Perfect's a good example of someone who was already famous and is now a Play School host, which is a little bit odd, but he's probably very good at it. Anyway. We're getting deep into the hosts.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it goes, and they teach a lot about it. They're very equal in what they teach. Often they will have one of the hosts. They don't have it on every episode, but one of the hosts we're talking about, named Sophia, is deaf, and she'll perform the entire show in sign language.
Yeah.
And kind of translate everything that the guys are saying into sign language. And
teach the kids sign language as well.
Yeah.
So like she wasn't. It was very interesting as a kid growing up, but having Sophia there was just kind of normal. We just had Sophia as part of growing up. It was like having the interpreter in the like bottom left hand of the screen on Cheese TV.
Yeah.
But the difference with this is that the interpreter was incorporated into the show. Like they were one of the performers.
If they were going to sing a song, they'd always sing the song slowly first and show all of the hand movements, and then they'd do it
Yeah.
with everybody and the other two hosts, because she was usually the third host added in.
Yeah.
The other two hosts would also do the hand movements along. So yeah, it was all about
It's great.
equality and.
I was going to say, it shows how inclusive and diverse Play School's always been.
Yeah.
Which is why, Tim and I are such well-rounded human beings.
Oh, 100%. And that's where we heard songs like the Ning Nang Nong for the first time. And
great song.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. But Leon, you had something you wanted to talk about specifically. These are the guys. These are the real stars of Play School.
Right. Are we skipping over the windows completely, mate?
I mean, we'll come back to the windows.
The windows are very important.
We'll come back to the windows. We got to talk about the real stars of Play School.
The fact that you and I agree on the same clock is an important thing for our friendship.
Yeah.
The rocket
of course
clock
it's
is
the
best
freaking rocket clock.
Tim, I want to talk about the toys.
Yeah.
And I want to quiz you a little bit.
Okay.
I want to see if you can tell me the names of some of the toys.
All right.
I'll try and pick ones that aren't too hard. Now, this one...
How are you doing this? Are you just going to describe
I'm going to either give you the description or tell you what kind of animal they were or that. Tim, this one was a large bear.
Big Ted.
That is correct.
Yes.
Big Ted, he's had one of the longest careers on the show. He's been on it since 1966.
He's been there since the beginning.
It's the same doll as well.
Some say that the show was originally his idea, but it kind of got caught up by because it plays on the ABC, Australian Broadcasting Company.
Yeah.
They kind of stole the idea from him, but they let him stay on it.
Yeah,
so.
He got to keep some royalties. The thing about Big Ted is, it's the same bear, which it's looking ragged as fuck. No,
Yeah.
They do give him he's got a lot of plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Thing about Big Ted is that the show essentially is about him, though, because the first line of the theme song is "There's a bear in there."
Yeah, and the
And a
picture
chair
is
as
usually of him as well when
Yeah.
when they sing that part.
Tim, this bear is smaller.
Little Ted.
Correct.
It's
You got
very
Little
unclear
Ted.
about whether Little Ted is Big Ted's brother or whether he's his son, or whether it's one of those situations where he's technically his brother, but they pretend he's his son. Like a family mix-up situation.
Sometimes they would have them play because they dress up the toys and have them do performances. Shakespeare readings, stuff like that. I like this one because it's a plastic doll. Its name was Hamble. It was only on from 1966 to 1993. They were just like, Hamble, you're not cutting it anymore.
Hamble retired. Couldn't take the pressure.
This is a rag doll.
Oh, that's all you're
That's
giving
it.
me?
You should know that.
Well, I assume it would be Jemima. Because,
Obviously, it's Jemima. This one is egg-shaped.
Egg. Ooh,
He's egg adjacent.
Yeah. He's not quite an egg, but he's on his way there. I believe it will be Humpty Dumpty with his polka-dotted pants.
That is correct. Humpty Dumpty was a great toy. Do you remember the name of the toy pig?
No, but I remember the pig. I do remember the pig, but I couldn't tell you what its name was.
Slush.
Yeah, okay. Yep, that makes sense.
There was another teddy bear in this show.
Yes,
Another
there
male
was.
teddy bear.
And he was kind of like the cousin. Because he
was-
wasn't honest. No, he was white.
Yeah,
white and fluffy.
And he was also bigger. I think he was the biggest of the bears, but...
I don't know if he was as big as Big Ted. Was it Maurice or
It
something
was
like
Maurice.
that?
Maurice the teddy bear.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of other ones. Man, they have some really boring names for some of the plastic dolls. They've got Mika. They've got Dan. Dan came in, it says 2010s. Not sure what year Dan came in.
He made a few cameos and then he became part of the regular cast.
There's also Jim, the plastic doll. Toy dog.
Oh, this is the one that's kind of made up of various different materials, right?
Yes.
Like scrap.
Correct.
Because he's made of scrap material.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't say what year he started or ended, so scrap is timeless. Toy cat. Think of the nursery rhyme.
Yeah. Diddle? Something like that.
Diddle,
Yeah,
diddle. Diddle is a toy cat. Toy frog. There's alliteration in his name.
Fergus?
Correct.
Yep. Nice.
Interesting about Fergus,
Doing
he
well.
didn't come until 1994. But
Yeah,
Fergus was integral to my life.
I remember him well. I do remember Fergus very well, yeah.
Fergus did songs about lily pads and...
a lot of lily pad work. A lot of...
Yeah, he was hired for his lily pad.
He got a lot of bad feedback because he did have a lily pad phase where that's all his songs seemed to be
all he
about.
did.
Similar to Taylor Swift with her ex-boyfriend thing. Yeah, he copped a lot of flack, but he was writing what he loved. So, as far as I'm concerned, go for it, Fergus.
Was the banana on Play School? Was that where Bananas in Pajamas started?
I don't know if it's where it started, but they definitely had a bananas in pajamas, but only one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they never outlined whether it was B1 or B2. It was just a banana in pajamas.
The last one that I'll ask you about is the cow.
Didn't we? Oh, we didn't talk about a cow already?
No.
What did we talk about?
We talked about a pig. Remember the cow was purple?
Yeah, I do. I can't remember its name.
Daisy.
Daisy.
Other highlights, Goosey Lucy, the goose.
Mm-hmm.
Remember there was Kim and Lisa, and they were they were Asian dolls. Kim and Lisa.
They were brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twins. There was also twin teddy bears called Troy and Tony. Don't know when they came on, but boy, I
don't
missed
think
them.
they were on when I watched it.
All right. Those are all those main characters. They're amazing. And if you had so you can have a teddy bear and be like, this is Big Ted. But if you had Play School ABC shop branded Big Ted, first of all, your parents are rich. Second of all,
oh yeah,
I'm going to steal it.
Those bad boys were expensive.
I think I would have preferred a Humpty Dumpty. I used to love the Humpty Dumpty toy.
Yeah, I seem to remember. I can't really remember ever seeing a Big Ted teddy. I seem to remember more ABC selling the Humpty Dumpties. That's what I remember. Yeah.
Now let's get on to the hard talk, Tim. Windows. So on Play School, they would have a window, and they would choose a window of the day.
Yep.
And through that window, you would see either, as you said, the story they were telling, or maybe some clip about some kids or something like that.
Kids playing a sandbox, something of that nature. Yeah.
There was a square window,
correct,
a diamond window, an arch window, and a circle window.
Yes.
Which window did you favour?
I was a hardcore square man myself.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I was always all about the square window. What were you?
I believe I was a circle man myself.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's like, this is like doing a personality test in Australia. It's like, what, do you have any friends? How do you feel when an animal dies? Which window did you pick on Play School?
And for me, the arch window was like the fence sitters. They couldn't decide if they wanted the circle or the square, so they just went with both.
I remember
chose the arch.
As a child, being so pissed off when they didn't pick my fucking window.
It was a big deal, and it felt like they didn't choose the square that often.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like to me.
It also didn't feel like they rotated. Like, sometimes they might do square 2 days in a row, and I'm like, guys, can we just have a little bit for the circle lovers out there?
Look at the roster. We're not up to the square. I've been keeping track of this. Yeah,
square again. And I think the last thing that we should talk about is obviously, we should talk about some controversy. Little bit of controversy.
Yeah, we did mention that a little bit earlier.
Aside from that controversy as well, which we'll get to, there was controversy because one of the through the window segments, hopefully the circle window, because we're very inclusive, showed a child with two mothers.
Oh, actually, yeah.
I remember this happening. It was in
2004,
and a lot of fuddy-duddies were up in arms because they'd shown lesbians on Play School. And federal ministers, because Play School ABC, it has a lot of politics around it.
ABC is largely government funded as well, yeah.
I think they talked about pulling funding at one point from Play School.
They've talked
recently
about it a lot of times.
But the best thing is that Play School's response was, Play School aims to reflect the diversity of Australian children, embracing all manner of race, religion, and family situations.
Yep.
Eat shit Australian politics.
That's pretty much what they said. They were basically saying, fuck off, we're going to do what we want because this is for the kids,
remember how
not
we've been
you,
around for longer
fuckwits.
than you've been around for? In 2013, Alex Paps constructed... this is the direct wording from Wikipedia. Some kind of contraption which involved a straw inserted through the side of a plastic bottle, which was then filled with hot water, accidentally resembling a bong.
Yeah. When you look at the mechanics of a bong, it wouldn't work like a bong. I think it was more to blow bubbles in the water or something of that nature. But gee whiz, it looks like a bong.
Yeah, old mate.
And if it looks like a bong and cracks like a duck, it's probably a bong.
All he was missing was a Gatorade bottle and a piece of hose or something.
Yeah.
It's the most bong thing you could possibly make on Play School.
Yeah, it got a lot of internet airtime.
But in Wikipedia, that's the only two controversy that's happened in the entire history of
I don't think
Play School.
anything bad's really ever happened.
Songs, obviously. Theme song. There's a bear in there, a chair as well. People with games, stories to tell. Open wide, come inside.
Yeah.
It's Play School.
It's Play School.
You could, if you said any part of that phrase in public, people would start yelling the words.
There are a few songs for our generation and the generation before ours as well, that if you start singing the song, everybody will know every single word or every note of it. Like the ABC News theme song. If you play that, most people will know exactly what it is. The Vegemite song.
Yes.
Waltzing Matilda, obviously.
The Wide World of Sports theme song.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Burke's Backyard used to use it as the theme
Home
song.
Among the Gum Trees.
Home Among the Gum Trees. Everyone knows that.
Horses.
Horses by Daryl Braithwaite.
K-San.
Yeah.
And the Play School theme
And the
song.
Play School one is definitely one. Everybody knows every single word of it. And yeah, you 100%. If you started singing that in a bar and everyone was drunk enough, they'd totally
The thing is,
totally join in.
is that they took nursery rhymes that existed and they just put music to it, which made us know these nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
There was Hey Diddle Diddle.
Cat and the Fiddle.
They did She'll Be Coming Round the Mountain. I do remember their version of that.
Actually, yeah, I do too. I think that was probably where I first heard that song.
A bloody club banger, De Gloomf Went the Little Green Frog.
Oh,
What a song.
yeah.
Bananas
But
in Pajamas.
we all know frogs go la-di-da-di-da, right?
We all know frogs go la-di-da. And then because it was so important, there was, aside from We All Know Frogs Go la-di-da, there was We All Know Frogs Go Pop in the Microwave.
Oh, yeah.
Pop when you step on them. You know, satire
We were funny
highest
kids.
form of compliment that you
Funny
can
kids.
get. There was Five Little Ducks Went Out One Day. Which,
Over the hill, far away.
Elise reminded me of recently. And again, Elise sang it to me and I got a bit emotional because
Yeah.
I really like that song and it just reminds me of being a
Because
child.
the mother dog quacks, but only 4 of them come back again.
Rockabye Your Bear, which I wonder if that's the same one as the...
It's the same Wiggles
as
one,
the Wiggles
I think,
one.
Yeah.
There was Dingle Dangle Scarecrow.
With his
Beautiful.
flippy floppy hat.
Yeah.
There was a fantastic... They did a fantastic claymation to that one as well.
Yeah. Five Great Elephants. I don't remember that one. Hickory Dickory Dock.
Balancing
obviously.
step by step on a piece of string.
That's
the
right.
elephants
That's
yeah.
the one you always sing and I never know what you're doing.
Yeah.
This song title just sounds inquisitory. How many people live at your house?
Is anyone home now?
Bureau of Statistics.
Where do you live?
Open, shut them. Open, shut them. It was basically Frere Jacques.
Yeah.
But, I think that's kind of feathers, fur, or fins. Oh my god.
I don't remember that one.
Feathers, fur, or fins.
No.
I think it wasn't John Williamson, but I think maybe it was Colin Buchanan. Because I think Colin Buchanan is the guy that became he actually ended up being more of like a Christian, but like kids songwriter.
Okay. Right. Don't know that one. But yeah, sure. Cool.
Three Jellyfish, The Speckled Frog. They're digging a hole in the road. What's that about? And
that one's a really deep work.
I think that's kind of it. Now, what is your favorite Play School song?
I think, like I said, she'll be coming around the mountain. For some reason, I have these memories of watching it and having like very clear imagination of like this woman with these big white steeds coming like flying around the corners of the mountains and stuff. I just have these very vivid memories of me thinking about that, and that's why I know. So that's definitely one. And the elephants one. Step by step on a piece of string.
I will always be a Ning Nang Nong man.
Oh, it's a classic. It is a classic.
John sang that one.
What's the John Hamblin one that he sang, and it was a claymation and it was a dude? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know the one you're talking about.
But I can't remember.
We'll have to send it to everyone. I did just read down here in the notes of the Wikipedia article that the clocks and windows were sent to the National Museum of Australia, which makes me fear that they're not on the show anymore.
Who were?
The clocks and the windows.
Maybe they have new ones and they've just...
I don't want your new ones. I can't find this song. Have you found it?
No, I'm searching John Hamblin claymation man. I don't think I'm going to find it.
Tim...
If we find it, we'll put it on.
The exciting thing that I said to you earlier, for any Australians out there listening, the 50 years, they made an album called Play School Famous Friends Celebrating 50 Years. I was reading, Tim, a bit of this list before. You've got There's a Bear in There, sung by Emma the Wiggle. That's a pretty big name in Australia right now. Hamish and Andy do There's a Hole in My Bucket. Molly Meldrum and Charlie Pickering on it. Missy Higgins is on it. Josh Thomas. Magda Zabansky. Katie Noonan. The Umbilical Brothers. Tim Minchin's on there, which is ridiculous. Costa, the guy from Gardening Australia, UMI, Bernard Fanning, Kate Sobrano. Like, we've got all the big names on this album because this album could be the best Australian album of all time.
Yeah, big names, big names.
I remember having a Play School album. That's where that's why I know Feather, Fur, or Fins. You find it yet, Tim?
No, I can't.
Well, whilst you're looking, Tim, we've got an electronic paper handwritten mail.
Oh, electronic paper handwritten.
Yes.
Fabulous.
What are you doing over there? Are you still searching?
I'm trying to find it on YouTube. You know what? If we find it, we'll put it on Facebook.
Yeah, we will find it. Yes, Tim, I've got an electronic mail. A little bit of dadvice. Dadvice in the new year.
Hit us up.
To Tim and Leon. My name is Josie, and I am 7 years old from Perth in Western Australia.
Fucking well done on your language skills already, Josie. I can tell you're quite an intelligent young woman.
I think they're pretty good, but you can see at times that she may have struggled with writing.
Okay.
I have a goldfish named Peter and a rabbit named Michael. My favourite colour is green, and I want to be an octopus surgeon when I grow up. Josie, you're dope.
Yeah. She's aiming high, which is what I like. She's not going to be a fish surgeon.
No.
She's going with the octopus. No. Props to you, Josie. Follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
Every day, on the way to school, my mummy plays Jaeger Day in the car.
Oh.
She says she fucking loves it.
Yes.
But I'm not allowed to swear. I love it when kids just they're like, Mum fucking loves it, but I'm not allowed to swear. This week at school, I have to do show and tell, but I'm not sure what to do it on. I have lots of toys at home, and I have been all over Western Australia. What do you think I should talk about? Mummy says hello, and she's excited for you to go to Japan. I do not know where that is, but it sounds like everyone there really likes you. Bye, Josie.
Okay.
On you, Josie.
Sick
Thanks
one.
for listening. And Josie, if you are listening, we fucking like you too.
Yeah. Fucking well done.
And Mummy, thanks for sharing this amazing show with your child.
Mummy,
She's gonna
maybe
be smart.
tone down your swearing in front of Josie a bit.
Carol, bring it back a bit.
Yeah.
Show and tell. What a stressful time in life.
It is. You got to find something that is, that is going to impress people.
Yeah.
But you want to remain humble.
Like, how many dogs can we see? Now, first of all, never too many. Second of all, Craig brought a dog in last week.
Oh.
So,
Fucking Craig.
what are you going to bring in?
Yeah.
You're not going to bring in dog. You can't bring the cat in because the cat's not going to be friendly.
Yeah. It is always a struggle to try and figure out what you're going to take in.
Chickens are good. You got chickens? Bring in baby chickens. People go off for baby chickens.
You're all about bringing in these live animals. There's world outside of that. You can bring in teddy bears. You can bring in, if something exciting happens on the weekend, you can talk about that.
Yeah. If you've got, I don't even remember what I used to bring in to show and tell. I feel like I brought in some interesting things. I feel like I was a weird enough kid that I wouldn't have just been like, here's my teddy bear. I would have been like, here is a booger I've had for 7 years.
Yeah. It's a magic booger.
What can you take, Josie? Get a guitar. From anywhere. We'll lend you ours. Take it in, learn one chord, strum it, and then smash the guitar like The Who.
Yeah.
And say, we love you, Wisconsin. And I fucking love Jaeger Day.
No one in the classroom will get it. Possibly not even the teacher, but you will have known.
Yeah, and also, but no one else is going to do it, so it's safe.
It's very safe. Very safe.
Have you made anything lately? Any arts and crafts?
Yeah, why don't you take in that macaroni picture you did on holiday? The one that your mum was like, oh, thank you.
We'll put that in Mummy's special bin.
Yeah. Fish it out, because your mum's a little bit lazy. She probably doesn't take the bin out every week. You can probably still find it.
Too busy listening to Jaeger Day.
Yeah. Take that in. Show them.
Take in your favourite book and then read it to them.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Force your ideas upon other people. That's my advice to you, is if you have an idea, make sure everyone agrees with you.
Have you got a bucket with tadpoles in it? I remember having tadpoles in random buckets, and that's dope. Get a tadpole.
This is sort of related but unrelated. We used to have little pond out the front of our house, and there was always tadpoles in there, and I loved to scoop them up in my hand and have a quick look at them and then put them back in the water so that they didn't die.
And then eat them.
Yeah.
Do something gross. You watch some Penn and Teller. Do the trick where they ram a nail into their nose with a hammer.
Ugh. Yeah.
Just get really metal. And so
sword swallowing.
Yeah.
7-year-old.
Kids will pass out and faint and vomit. Yeah. It'll be great. Eat a worm. Just eat a worm.
Yeah. Be you.
Yeah.
Be the best you can be.
You do you, Josie, 7 years old from Western Australia.
Yeah.
I think that's great advice that we can all live by. Just be you and eat a worm. Tim.
Yes.
This brings us to the end of our show about Play School. I could have talked for hours and hours.
We could have spoken about it. That's 100%
I love Play
true.
I want to go watch some now, but I feel like I can't watch Play School anymore because it's not as good as the glory days for me. It's like the Wiggles. Can't watch the Wiggles anymore.
Yeah, it's not the same anymore, is it? It's really.
It's not.
I found out before we go. Guess what? I just found.
Which
It's
one?
called Standing on One Leg.
Standing on One Leg. And they
This
do
is the claymation one that I was
Okay.
talking about. Standing on One Leg. We'll share it on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll share it. Tim's going to watch it immediately after. He hates me that we're still recording and he's not watching
Yeah.
it right now.
Let's wrap this shit up. I need to watch this.
Tim, we had a good last week because we made the commentary for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yes,
And
sir.
tell you what, unlike when I edit these episodes and I don't laugh, I laughed a lot editing the very long 2.5 hours of commentary.
Fabulous, fabulous.
I recommend you should get it. Go on our Patreon, donate www.patreon.com/Jägerday.
What's that website again? I don't know.
Yeah, it's also not really donating, just giving us money. Tim, I want to thank Teylor Smirl, T Smell, Smelly T, Mooney Taylor for our wonderful cover art that makes us look so good.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Curtis Fernance, that's Fern Tree Music on Facebook, for his outroduction music. I went to high school with Curtis. We just got invited to our 10-year reunion. Curtis, I look forward to catching up with you outside of that reunion because I'm not sure I'll be going.
We won't see you there.
But I'll definitely see you outside of it.
No, you're going if in, what'd you say? We got 6 months to become super famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go if we get super
If
famous.
anyone can help us out with that, that'd be good. Or at least help us out to fake it enough so that Tim can go to his reunion and be like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Awesome. Tim, I want to thank our listeners because as of today, according to my Facebook feed, it's been 1 year and 6 months
Wow, that's 18 months all up.
that we've been doing. What is it, a baby? How old is it? Oh, 18 months. It's a year and a half.
No, she's 23 months old. So.
She's 406 months old.
Yeah.
That we've been doing this show, and I can't wait for us to look back on it when people refer to us as the second coming of Play School.
Yeah.
After our 60
We're gonna have
years
to-
of podcast.
Gonna have to do a lot of changes to
Yeah.
show to get to that point.
Yeah,
but
as
yeah.
of next week, we're doing children's theatre. So that's good. I don't know what else. We're on the Auscast Network, which is great. My recommendation for a show this week is Jaeger Day. I think it's good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Recommend it to a friend. If every listener recommends it to one friend and one friend recommends it to another friend and that friend doesn't listen to it, we'll still have picked up 2 new listeners.
Yeah, that maths works out.
Yeah, per friend. Pay it forward. That's what the movie's about. It's all about giving Jaeger Day to other people.
Yeah, 100%.
Our website's www.jagerday.com. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Jaeger Day Podcast. And we have a Facebook group, Jaeger Day Fans.
Correct. All of that is correct. I can vouch for everything that he said as being correct, yes.
That's enough. In the wise words, Tim, of Play School itself, there's a bear in there. Yeah, g'day, Tim.
Chair as well, yeah. G'day, Leon.
There are people with names, games, stories to tell. Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Yeah, g'day, everyone. I forget where we're up to in the middle of that song.
Open wide.
Open wide, come inside, flippity flop, catch you then on that one. It's Play School.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.